Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, I normally, as you have these live events, you hear people say, I'm going to wait till somebody comes in the room and that kind of thing. We are not doing that today. I am so excited to have a number of boss women that are on the line today, and they're going to help us celebrate Juneteenth. Um, this is a very special day. If you're not familiar with this day, it is a day in 1865, June the 19th in 1865, when the last of the slaves learned that they had been emancipated with the Emancipation Proclamation. And as the history would tell us, is that they were immediately excited. They began to have a celebration and be able to just enjoy the fact that they were free. And as a result, this day has gone in history as one that has been celebrated and lauded all over the world, not just in the United States, not just in Texas where this event occurred, where they finally got the news, but all over the country, as far away as Korea and Europe and all over. And so on today, we want to follow in that tradition through these, 150 plus years. The way that people celebrate, even what it's called, has changed, right? It was Jubilee originally and Freedom Day, and now it's Juneteenth. And the way that it's celebrated is different depending on the decade, depending on what's going on in the world. But on this day, July the 19th, 2020, the way that I decided to celebrate Juneteenth is to have a few boss women, that's the word I'm going to use about these women today, to come on and to talk to us about their business and to give us a little insight on what's important to them. So I hope that you will like this event and share it and make a point to just tell other people about it. Given everything that's going on in the world, it's our job to lift each other up, to support those that are doing positive things, and to make a point of just realizing how special it is. I also noticed that there were a number of people that talked about buying Black on today. And so I wanted to just give you my little 2 cents about buying Black on today and every day. One is that remember that, you can find someone that is in business and doing good business. So look for them. Look for Black businesses that you can support. In the event, too, that something doesn't go well, let them know. Most folks want to resolve any kind of issue, right? They want to make sure that they're doing what's needed. And last, once you find someone that's doing good, don't be stingy. Tell others about the services that you're getting and what's been provided for you. And you really can't go wrong. I think I didn't say exactly who I was. My name is Cynthia Chandler, and I own a company called diligenceseeker.com. It is a marriage of technology and ministry, basically using technology to advance the gospel. Right now, there's so many sort of portions and parts of this, but the thing that we're really focusing on right now is what we're doing at this moment, and that is live streaming. We have classes and consulting and training that we're doing to help ministry and individuals be able to learn how to live stream and be able to take advantage of this technology. It's especially urgent when you realize that so many churches and ministries can't actually go into the building. We're all starting to be able to be free. And so this company is using technology to help ministries be able to get the best of that, get the best production value. So I hope that you will like, again, this broadcast, and I will give you more information about this company later, and you can join our mailing list or maybe sign up for some of our classes. All right, so now I want to bring to the screen someone that is definitely a boss. She is awesome. She is the mother of 3. She is a young woman, and she is one of the most special makeup artist you ever want to meet. So I want to introduce to you Miss on the screen. See if I can push these buttons right. Are you there, Ashley?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, Ashley.
Hi.
All
Hey,
right.
guys.
Well, I am so glad to have you as a part of our Juneteenth celebration on today. As I was mentioning, you are Ashley Williams, and you have a service that's called Goddess by Ashley. And Ashley, tell me what's the deal with makeup? Like, why is makeup your thing? Can you hear me?
So for me, growing, I can hear you. It's just a little delayed.
Okay.
My apologies. But for me, just starting off with makeup, um, I when I was younger, I really in battle with self-esteem for a quote unquote dark skinned person, and so my mother used to tell me I'm a jack of all trades and a master at none. But haha, I only found I'm really good at, and it's makeup. I started trying to do hair and then slowly just becoming a woman and trying to venture off and put on a little makeup here and there, and then it just grew into a passion. Now I work for Mac but I was like, hey, I want to be a boss lady. So let me go ahead and venture off and create Goddess by Ashley makeup artist. And so that's where I am today.
That's awesome, Ashley. So as I was talking to you about this, you shared with me that there's like kind of three areas that you focus in on. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Say it one more time. I'm sorry, Cynthia.
Oh, no problem. There's like three areas that you focus in on. You have the makeovers, tutorials, and the special events. And I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about each of
Oh,
those.
yes, yes. I have my so I have my makeovers, I do tutorials, and I do my special events. So makeovers pretty much just when you want to do something different with yourself, you might want to enhance your beauty. And so that's just trying to show you go one look, to do makeover on yourself. You might want to just not every day, but some days just want to throw on some makeup, and that's where I offer my services. And then I also have a tutorial. We have some women who just do not know anything about makeup, how to put it on, what brush, what color foundation, any of that. And so that service that I provide, it just helps you understand more about the makeup line and the correct way and proper way to apply makeup. And then special events, and that could be from your birthday party, baby shower, weddings, proms, date night, because that could be a special event as well, because it's a special event for me. But anything like that, I also provide those services for all women, and young ladies, just so that way, because at the end of the day, you don't want to continue to pay for some of your makeup. Although the makeup artists, we still appreciate it. You want to be able to do it and encourage and boost yourself, your own self-esteem.
Absolutely. As you were talking, I showed some of the ways that you would use. You were your own model, and then clearly the talent just kind of rings through. I don't know how you do that, right? You can freehand, and to put Africa on your face or the power symbol, like it's kind of amazing. So I'm always in awe of how you're able to just make yourself, do all these wonderful tricks. And yeah, it's awesome. You mentioned before that you really got into makeup because of dark skin and that kind of thing. It's a uniquely Black situation, and so I guess I just wanted to ask you, what does Juneteenth mean to you?
You so broke up at the end of it. I'm sorry. I heard a little bit, not the end. I'm sorry, Cynthia.
Oh, that's okay. What does Juneteenth mean to you?
So, funny story. When I was younger, I say I grew up in Mountain View, and during the summer, I have this thing called Juneteenth. And from my understanding, oh, finally all the Black people can go down on Castro Street in Mountain View. They shut it down. We get some good eating. You know, we can hear the drums playing. I had no idea what Juneteenth really was. Never knew. It wasn't until I educated my own self about it, and then I realized how important this date is to our culture. We suffered for so long, and so the one day that we finally feel free is definitely a holiday. It shouldn't take all of this turmoil that's happening within our world for others to recognize how important Juneteenth is to us. It is truly a holiday, and
Right.
Glad that finally do have a day to where we can celebrate that we're no longer slaves, and we don't have to report in a sense to a master. But at the same time, this is history that needs to be shared with our children. It needs to be shared with those who are younger than us. Because like I said, I just thought it was a cool time in summer where I could go hang out with my friends and see a lot of Black folks. That's what I thought. So it's so important for me to show my daughters, what it stands for.
Right, right. I understand. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I know we're having a little bit of technical difficulty, but that's okay. Can you just tell us how people can contact you? That's all right. If anybody wants to contact Ashley, they can reach out to her at the email that's listed there, and also on Facebook and Instagram. As she said before, she is doing tutorials, special events, and makeup. So, and she's safe. So she's using masks and all that other stuff for such a time as this. So we just want to thank you so much, Ashley, for being a part of this on today. And we will definitely talk to you again next time. All right. All right. Well, thank you so much, Ashley, for being a part of this. I know we had a few technical difficulties, but that's okay. That's all right. We're going to keep it moving. We have next up on our list is Sandra. And Sandra has a business that can put a little weight on you if you let it, right? Sandra, I'm gonna bring Sandra on, and she's gonna tell us a little bit about her business. Let's see here, Sandra. Sandra, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I really do.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, Sandra, tell us about Two Sisters Desserts.
Well, Two Sisters Dessert is I'm one half of the sister. My name is Sandra Thomas, and my other half is my sister Brenda Crum. And about maybe 6 years ago, we decided that we just love baking. Just love baking.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up with our aunts and our moms baking cakes and whatever. And my mom, bought my sister an Easy Bake Oven, and from there it just took off.
Yeah.
From running out all the batter that came with the toy in the box to stealing batter out of my mom's, cake mix or whatever. And it just became fun. And so from there, as we got older, my sister, I'm sorry, Cynthia, my earbud popped out. So as we got older, my sister kind of like always baked, always had cakes and whatever, take them to different relatives' houses. And we just love to bake. And that's just something that was passed down from my mom and our aunts. And, it was just a joy to do and to watch them do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here's the thing I know as a fact is that you guys have taken what may have started as a hobby and like elevated it to something incredible. I had asked you to send me a few of the samples that you have, And let me just I'm going to put it over me. So I want you to talk to us a little bit about this. So these are your, what is
This
it?
right here, this is our dessert bar. And so this gives our clients an opportunity to have a variety of all of our different types of desserts. So you're not just like limited to just cakes or pies or cobblers. You're not limited to having large size slices of cakes and pies that go to waste. So what we decided to do was just turn all of our desserts into like bite-sized desserts. And this will give everybody a chance to sample a different variety of whatever what we offer. So we have banana pudding shooters, we have butter pound cakes, we have chocolate butter pound cakes, we have mini key lime pies, we have strawberry cheesecake, we have caramel cheesecake, and we have, like, my favorite is a turtle cheesecake. And this, because I love turtle candy, just kind of came up with the creative idea of just like, let me just put some caramel pecans, some chips on this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. and so this gives, like you say, our customers a variety. So like for example, like for weddings, there are a lot of people that don't eat cake, and so they were like, oh, that's a great idea, and it's not wasting food either, so it's not like you have this huge cake and no one eats the cake and you stuck with all this, 2 or 3 layers of cake. Here you just have, a variety of different flavors, a variety of different types of desserts that people will enjoy and love.
Absolutely. I have had your cake and your pies and the specialty things, and they're good. That's just a few pictures. These are the pictures of the specialty cakes.
So our specialty cakes are, like for weddings, I can see at the bottom, we did a birthday cake for an 80-year-old client. And, we did a baptism with the cross. We did graduation, as you see in the middle, a graduation cake. And at the top left is one of our specialty strawberry cheesecake, and then a vanilla strawberry cake. So it's just a variety. If you have something in mind and say, okay, Sandra, this is what I want to do. This is my theme. If you have a theme like baby shower or whatever it may be, send us a photo and then we can work with you and we'll try to create, the dessert that you desire. So that right there is just something that from just baking out an easy bake oven to trying to do creative cakes. I mean, we've come a long way. And right here is just our homemade cakes. We like to consider our cakes as homemade. Our cakes are just, the moistest cake you probably ever have. And we just turn it into something different. So as you see at the top, that's a lemon cake. At the right, that's a caramel cake. The bottom left is a pecan, and then the bottom right is a key lime pie. So we just venture off and do a lot of homemade desserts. Sorry, my earpiece just fell out again. But we just love just taking old school and maybe putting a little twist to it. We still do the egg pie, the custard pies, and we just love to do it. We just love to take a challenge, and we're always being innovative and coming up with new ideas. And my sister and I always encourage each other, like, what about this? What about that? You try this? Well, let's try to make this. There's been a lot of trial and error, but man, I tell you, it's been a blast.
Well, it's clear when you eat your goods how much love is in it. They, like you said, they're so moist and they're always just they're just delicious, right? And I remember when I was working for another company, we hired you all, and you were giving us the monthly birthday cakes that we would bring in each month for the birthdays each month, and everybody loved them. As a matter of fact, it got so serious that instead of having a single cake for that month, we were ordering like one for this person's birthday, one for that.
Yeah.
Wanted to have that variety. Yeah. So it's really good. I really I enjoy. Although I try to stay away. Right. I don't want to eat too much of it, but it is really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Thank
I
you.
want to ask you the same question. We're celebrating Juneteenth today. So tell me, what does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, as you had mentioned, this day is like a day of celebration for African Americans. It's freedom, you know, and being a Black woman, owning her business, that's just something that my mom or anybody else probably would never thought that it would ever happen.
Yeah.
I mean, me and my sister thought it would never happen. We can't do that, whatever. But what the way that today is going, is hard because I have a son that's African American, and I worry about him constantly. And it's sad that you have to have that type of worry about your kids if they're just going to work or they just going over to their friend's house or whatever. So I think like being a Black woman owning our own business is a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a godsend blessing,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that is racism it exists. It hasn't gone nowhere, and I think of it like our business. We sell our desserts to everyone, no matter what race, color. It doesn't matter, Our desserts are loved by everyone. That's one thing that brings people together is food.
Yes, it does.
Food brings all nationalities together,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
when everybody gets together, no one's thinking about she's Black or she's white or she's Hispanic, whatever. They're there to enjoy themselves and eat good food, And then like my niece Ashley would just say, the Juneteenth, we grew up in East Palo Alto, and we would have these Juneteenth festivals, and it was just a fun time where it was just everybody, majority was African American, but anybody was invited to come out there and celebrate and learn about our culture, learn about our food, learn about our desserts. They're not really
Absolutely.
as advertised as others, but you know what? We got some good old food, soul
Yeah.
food,
Yes.
and that's
Yes.
what we do with our cakes and our pie. We just try to bring it back old school with a little twist.
Yes, yes. Well, they're beautiful and they taste good. They're actually one of the commenters here said that they're looking for a cake for their what does that say? I can't see too good. A 50th birthday. So
Okay.
that
Okay.
actually look that's a great question to lead me into how can people contact you, Sandra?
Well, they can contact me or my sister. So you can contact myself at 510-432-9099. My sister Brenda is 510-303-6345. Facebook, Two Sister Desserts, or we have our email is two sister desserts at gmail.com. And also I want to let individual people know that we deliver.
Okay.
So, so we deliver all of our desserts depending on where you live. Now, we'll go as far as like Richmond and San Jose, but if you live further, I mean, we have people that live in Fairfield, Sacramento. They met us halfway, so that's one thing we do provide in our business, that we deliver all of our desserts.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Sandra, thank you so much for being a part of it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you have a wonderful rest of your day. Okay.
All right. You too. Thank you so much. God bless.
God bless you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, so we've gotten a makeup artist and we've had a dessert extraordinaire that is come on. And actually, I should say Ashley is she is amazing. So I need to make sure that I say that. And so now I want to go to someone that I'm incredibly impressed with. She probably doesn't even know that. I think she has gone into an industry that we are, underserved and don't always understand the importance. And so I'm going to bring Miss Divine Brown on the screen. Hey, Divine.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, thank you.
So listen, sis, tell us about Divine Brown State Farm Agency.
Yes, so I am a State Farm agent. I own my own insurance agency in San Leandro, California. And I would say that I didn't get here by myself. So I fondly call myself a State Farm brat. And the reason I say that is obviously because my mother is a State Farm agent. But probably the thing that stands in my mind the most is I remember what the opportunity did for her. So I was a child when my mom started working for State Farm. And before she did, we didn't have a ton of money or a lot of things to give and or have. And as she started this business and her business started to grow, our lives as a family kind of changed. And for me, that was the same desire that I had, that I want to change the trajectory and the lives of my children and my community, quite frankly. So when people come into my office or when they call into my office, my goal is to make sure that they're not only educated, but they feel loved and they know that someone genuinely cares about their well-being. And that means financially and as well as making sure their insurance is protecting them. But I care about them as people as well. So
Right.
financially and spiritually.
Well, and that to me is so in parallel with what we're talking about today with Juneteenth, right? Being free, right, means economic freedom. It means generational freedom. And so you found a way, your mom led the way, right, and showed you an example. And now you're following in those footsteps. And that is, I think, what we want for all, I know my mom used to always say to me that I want you to love God and I want you to be able to take care of yourself, to be self-sustained, right? And that's a minimum, but the idea that each generation can build on the one before it, like I think that's what we all want as people, right? To just be able to take advantage and do a little better. And so your mom has done she's given you a great example.
She has.
Of what to do. So tell us a little bit about the services you offer.
So obviously we're an insurance company, so we offer auto insurance as well as home insurance. But when I think about our community and our people, probably the most important thing we can do to serve our community is offer life insurance. So one thing that I guess I'll point out is that most people, I shouldn't say most, some people think of life insurance as just a way to bury their loved ones, but it's also a way to leave a legacy for the future generations. If you don't have children, it's a way to leave a legacy to your community or a legacy to your church or to your favorite organization. It's a way that we can continue to put money into our community and to the things that are important to us.
Absolutely. And I think that we sometimes think of all of these as optional, right? Especially auto and life. We all have seen where people are, they're doing the GoFundMe and they're doing those kind of things. And it's unfortunate, but I think being able to know that they can call someone like you and know the impact that, this can have on their future can really make a difference. So we really appreciate, what you're offering, what you're giving to the community. So I probably already answered the question about Juneteenth a little bit, but tell me, what do you think about Juneteenth? What does it mean to you?
Yeah, for me, it's a day to celebrate my Blackness, to celebrate our freedom as a community, and probably the day that I realized that I should say a recent event that made me realize that I needed to celebrate being Black a little bit more was a couple weeks ago. Some may know, but I have a 7-year-old son. And a couple weeks ago, he was in his room playing and I'm trying to clean things up and, toys everywhere. So I picked up one of the little Nerf guns and he looks up at me and he said, "Mom, you can throw that away." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because they killed a little boy for playing with a toy gun." That's what he said. And my heart, that broke my heart, right? You, as a mother, you don't want to hear your children say things like that, but it reminded me that I need to continue to instill in my children, and especially the one who is now afraid, that his Blackness is not a weapon. So for us, Juneteenth is a day that we can celebrate and be proud of who we are and where we've come from. So we obviously know that we've got a long way to go, but we can celebrate from where we come from. And so for us, it's a day of celebration.
Wow, that's a powerful story. That really is. And I completely agree. We don't always realize what these issues that are away from us, technically, they're not in our backyard, they don't happen to our family, but the effect that they have on us, not to mention our young people. So thank you for sharing that. And I agree, it is a celebration. And so I'm happy to celebrate with you a little bit today.
Yeah, I'm going to celebrate with you too.
Absolutely. So I have a little bit of information about how people can contact you. Would you like to share anything else about how folks can contact you?
Sure. So I mentioned before that my office is in San Leandro. We're right on East 14th Street near Bayfair Mall. So you can obviously come in anytime you get ready to, but you can also reach us by phone. Our office phone number is 510-962-3657. And then you can always go to our website, which is ensuringthebay.com, or you can email me directly at divine@ensuringthebay.com.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on and being a part of this service on today. I hope anyone that's listening, if you need any kind of insurance or any kind of financial products, give Divine a call. She'll be able to point you in the right direction if it isn't something that she does. But I went on the website. It looks like you're doing a whole lot. It literally looked like you were hiring.
I'm hiring. That is a true statement.
All right. So definitely, folks, just reach out to Divine and her team, and they'll give you some help. Well, thank you so much, Divine. I really appreciate you being a part of this on today. And you take care of yourself, okay?
Thank you so much. You take care as well.
All righty. Well, you guys, we have talked to a makeup artist, a pastry chef, and a young woman who owns her own insurance agency, which is no small feat. So I hope you've been enjoying this broadcast. I want to ask you to like and share it. This is the beginning of something, I believe. And so we're going to be doing this regularly. We want to spotlight folks that are doing things, because I personally, I don't want you to forget that there's so many positive things that are happening in our world. And while it may get to a place where it feels like there's a lot of negativity, there's a ton of positive things that are happening. So the last guest that we have on today is a friend of mine. I'm going to bring her on the screen while I talk about her. Miss Dr. Deborah Wilson is she is a writer, an athlete, a bodybuilder, and a minister. So she's doing quite a lot. Hey, Deb.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you well.
Good.
So, Deborah, how did you get? We're going to just talk about your writing today. We could talk about all kinds of things as it relates to you, but you decided we would just talk about your writing. So, where did that come from? How did you decide to become a writer?
Well, as a little girl, we used to have our journals. Remember, with the little lock and key? And so I started off as a little girl journaling. And as I became a little bit older, I began to journal a little bit more. Went through some very trying times in my home front. And I found that journaling, actually writing things out and expressing myself through writing, was a way to really keep me connected to my feelings, connected to my sanity, connected to a level of peace. And it allowed me to leverage beyond a broken place, even in my teenage years. And so my writing really fortified me mentally and psychologically and emotionally. And as I got older, of course, the little bit of diary things that I was doing became more of a journal type quest. And so I, again, going through a whole lot of brokenness and things of that nature, writing was my outlet. Writing was my therapy. When I got a little older, and I think I was pregnant with my youngest, and now she's 20. I began to write, and I was going through a tumultuous time, and I was writing and I was journaling, and I heard very specifically God say to me when I was going through several different, what I call in the book, mountain climbing experiences. That means a lot of experiences happening at one time. I think the Bible refers to them as when the enemy comes in like a flood. So I was in my flood experience. I heard God say to me very clearly, drop your fist and raise your hands. And that stuck with me. And I knew that it was him, because I felt like emotionally and mentally I was struggling, and I was trying to overcome things, almost like beating the air. And so when he said that, I heard him, and I continued to journal throughout the years, and I continued then to write toward that end. And my journaling became toward that end. And so over 16 years, I began to go back and spot check and see how I was, and dropping my fists and raising my hands throughout different situations in my life. And at the end of that, when I finished my master's degree and when I finished my PhD, I felt God come back to me and say, now finish what I had you to start. And that's what he wanted me to finish, was my book. And so I went back to drop your fist and raise your hands. And when I found the flash drive with all the dust on it, and I plugged it in, I was amazed at how much of the book I had actually written. And so I picked it back up and I continued. I think I picked it back up in November of 2015. The book was finished and in my hands by March or April of 2016. That's how much I had written. And that's how much it only took me 6 months to publish it, my first book.
Wow. So I wanted to show your publications more than me. So I see that we have the book you just mentioned, and then there's also a journal that goes along with that one, right?
Yes, because I'm a journaler, I know that there are some people, when they write, they do not like to marr their book. They don't like to write in their book. Unlike me, I tear the book up. I write in it. Like, I'm sure we have those Bibles that are all tore up and highlighted and all the pins marked. So there are some people that like to keep the virtue of the book the way that they've purchased it. And so I bought a journal, a companion journal for the book, so that in the event that you're writing it and you want to jot down your thought process, write down what it is that you're getting or gleaning from the book, or write down just how you're feeling, because the book has with it some practical, some concepts. It has a lot of a strategy. It has a lot of me invoked into it, my personal experiences. I call them commercial breaks and principles of life that you can take into yourself and that you can hone in on and that you can use and that you can then say, how do I feel about that? So the journal is a companion journal that allows you to walk along the book and to write your expressive feelings and your plans, your trajectory, your goals, your aspirations, however it is, whatever you need to feel or pour out. It allows you that platitude and that latitude, and it allows you that platform to do that alongside the book when you're reading it.
Awesome. Tell us about this, the Fit Image journal.
So the Fit Image journal, I am a fitness instructor. And there was a bout there where, this is so funny because I had actually gained weight. I had actually put on some inches and some pounds when I finished the Fit Image journal. So it was, it's just like God, right? to have you do something and you feel like you're doing the opposite. So I had stopped my fitness training and my group fitness instructing for a while. And I found that I probably was the biggest that I'd been in a while. And I had to do this photo shoot for this fitness group that I was developing. And they actually had to help me. I had to turn a certain way, move a certain way, so that I could get these photos. So the fitness journal was a way for a Fit Image journal was a way for me to document my process, document even my woes. And it even talks intricately about what we see in our mirror. There are internal mirrors and external mirrors. So we all look into an external mirror and we see what we see. But our perception of what we see has a lot to do with our internal mirrors, what we see from within. And so I talk about that. I ask questions that I was asking myself. Where am I holding my emotional weight? Now, that is usually something that is associated predominantly with women. But, men struggle with weight issues too, either the loss of weight or the gaining of weight. And a lot of times we hold our weight where our weight is. In other words, whatever is heavy upon us, we might find we got a midsection. Whatever is heavy upon us, we might find that we look like we have two necks. Whatever the case. So the Fit Image Journal is just a way for people to really document their process. You can document what you eat on a daily basis. It's really, again, I think this one is like 30 days. It really allows you to talk, to jot your exercise plan down, how much water you're drinking. I'm not a nutritionist, so it doesn't tell you what to eat, but it allows you to document what you choose to eat. And also talks about going to a physician and trying to figure out the better meals to help, to help the composition of your body to change. So that's what the Fit Image Journal was designed for. Now, it's interesting that the Fit Image Journal was supposed to be a standalone, but when the individual that was developing it wrote it on during the publication, they wrote "Drop Your Fist and Raise Your Hands" Fit Image Journal. And it was perfect because the final chapter of "Drop Your Fist and Raise Your Hands" speaks of responsible empowerment. And in responsible empowerment, it has to do holistically with who we are inside and out. And so the Fit Image Journal is a good bleed off from Drop Your Fist and Raise Your Hands. It's a continuum that says, I'm in charge of how I feel about how I look, and I'm also in charge about changing the way that I look and changing how I feel about the way that I look. And so it's all cohesive. And so that's what the Fit Image Journal is about. It's really just a journal for you to lose weight, to do maybe just an exercise regimen, and it deals with even meditation. So it's a holistic process and holistic approach to health and wellness.
Got you. Well, so you got a question while you were talking, and the question is, what study did you complete your PhD?
My PhD is in multidisciplinary human services.
Ooh, that's a mouthful.
Yes, it's wonderful because, in my vocation, what I do at work, rather, I've been a contract analyst for 23 years. I've been working in public sector for the County of Monterey as a contract manager. In that state, I've been a change manager. I've worked in finance. I've worked in HR. I've worked in the business office. I worked at the hospital when I started with the county back in 1997. And so I work with all facets of human services, from social services to health and wellness, to the health department, public health, environmental health, again, the hospital, the emergency services, information technology, human services, human rights services, human resources. And those are all human services. And so the discipline of human services is not just one sect. It's not a silo and it's not linear. It is actually multiplicated, multifaceted, very diverse. And with the population that we serve is diverse, and the population that is being served is diverse. And so it has a lot to do with diversity, ethics, culture, and all of that. And so I thought that was really good, especially for my ministry, and then what I want to do at my job, and what I want to do once I retire, or what I want to do in tandem while I'm working, so I can have multiple streams.
Got you. Yeah, all a part of that freedom idea.
Yes,
absolutely. Okay, so I'm gonna pivot a little bit, Deborah. So what I want to do is I'm going to just talk about something else. I'm going to take you off the screen. Then I'm going to bring you back because I want you to close us off with prayer. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's see if sound issues. So I'm hoping that we're better now. I wanted to just tell you a little bit about the company that I'm working on and why I'm doing this. I mentioned before, we are doing a live stream. And again, the live stream is really about ministry and helping different churches and organizations and anyone really that needs it to learn and understand how to do live streaming. You absolutely can get your phone and just go live, right? But there is a production value. There are ways to be able to get the most out of it. And so what diligenceseeker.com is really about is focusing in on bringing technology and ministry together. And today we're focusing in on live stream. We have actually a number of other services that we're going to be providing in the near future. So if you would like to keep in contact with us, feel free to click the like button wherever you're watching this, or email us at Cynthia at or you can go to diligenceseeker.com or Cynthia at diligenceseeker, or even on one of our pages, right? So feel free to just reach out and we can help you with this. All right, so we are actually at the end of this lesson on today. What I would like to do is I'm going to bring Dr. Wilson back. I'm going to ask her, I have a little information about how to contact her. You can buy her products at Amazon or Barnes and Nobles and other places. Just look up Dr. Deborah Wilson and she'll be there to be able to assist you. But given the environment that we're in, Deborah, and everything that's going on, I think that it would be really befitting, since you are a minister, to close us out in prayer so that we can really be able to kind of bring a closure to what we're doing today, but also a covering to what's going on in the world.
Most definitely. Most gracious God, we just want to thank you, oh God, for the opportunities that you have lent us. God, in the midst, God, and in the middle of turmoil, God, but also in the middle of opportunity, in the middle, God, of what looks like chaos, but also in the middle, God, of what also is very crucial in a time of healing. God, what looks like mayhem, but also looks like your mercy. God, we want to thank you, oh God, that with the bad is a balance of your goodness. With, oh God, what seems to be tumultuous is a balance of your grace. And what, God, looks like it would aimlessly take us out, God, is actually a trajectory of your divine order and will. We thank you that you are sovereign and always in control of all things. And God, we give you all of the glory and all of the honor. And God, we thank you for this ministry and for Sister Cynthia and her vision and for all of the young ladies that joined me. God, we ask that you sent a special blessing, oh God, and covering and upon their businesses, oh God, and everything that they set their hands to do. God, all of the businesses, God, that are in the process, God, that are in the making, that are in the hearts of men, in the hearts of your women. God, the creativity, all of the blessings that you bestowed upon us, God. And on this Juneteenth, the day that you have declared that slavery was free, we thank you that some 4,000 years ago, you declared that our souls were free by the blood of Jesus. And we just want to give you glory and give you thanks for that. And God, we ask that you take us from this place, but God, higher heights and deeper depths than you. And God, we thank you, oh God, that your word has declared, even in the middle of what we may look like that doesn't look like it's, God, going to be solid. We thank you, oh God, that you are God, Jehovah Jireh. You are the provider. Your banner over us is love. And for that, God, we lean on your word that simply tells us that our eye has not yet seen, our ear has not yet heard, it hasn't begun to enter into our heart the thing that you have prepared for us, God, because you have called us in this time, in this season, in the middle of this pandemic, in the middle of racism and brutality, while you are yet yielding and yet, God, allowing policies to change. And while you are yet, God, allowing platforms to be created, we thank you, oh God, that you said again that it has not yet entered into our heart, the thing that you have prepared for us, because we love you and because you have called us and chosen us, God, and we thank you for it. We thank you and we readily accept it, surrendering our will to yours, surrendering our life to you, and we give it all to you, and we give you all of the glory and all of the praise. But at the end of it, God, you will be praised. We give it to you now, and we thank you now. In your matchless name we pray, Jesus Christ. Thank God and amen.
Amen. Amen. Well, we thank you so much for that prayer, and we're gonna call it a night. But we want to thank you all. Please remember to share and like this, and we pray that you have a wonderful rest of your evening. All right.
Thank you.
God bless.